Hello guys, welcome to ASP Hero. Today we are going to make stock management software. In this series, stock management software, in this tutorial today we are going to add suppliers and list suppliers. Okay. Today we will perform tasks of listing and adding suppliers. Okay. Okay, at first let's see the demo and then we will proceed. It was our splash screen display and then our login, and after login we have already done about users. Yes, now in today's tutorial we are going to see about suppliers. In suppliers, in this video we are looking on to list this suppliers list and we will add another supplier. Okay, let's proceed. Before that, let's look on to our layout. Here in layout we have one group box here, and I have given text of enter supplier details. Okay, this is a group box and it is group box 2 and it has a text. It has text enter supplier details. Okay, similarly here I have a label, company name, phone, email, individual name, mobile, fax, contact person, address and website. Similarly, text boxes are here. For company name we have one text box, TB supplier company name, and another text box, TB supplier individual name, and another text box, TB supplier contact person, another text box, TB supplier phone, another text box, TB supplier mobile, another text box, TB supplier address, another text box, TB supplier email, and another text box, TB supplier fax, and another text box, TB supplier website. Okay, after making these text boxes and labels we have three buttons here. Add button. For add button I have given name BTN supplier add, and for update button I have given name BTN supplier update. Similarly we have another button BTN supplier delete for deleting, and then below of that these all controls are inside group box, and after in outside group box we have our data grid view, and I have given name grid view supplier. Okay, after making this layout we are ready to go. This is data grid view, and above is group box. Inside group box these supplier fields are given and three buttons which do the tasks of adding, updating and deleting supplier. Now before moving on to our coding section, let's see our database table supplier at first. I have installed SQL Server Management Studio and I have 2012 version of SQL Server. I'll connect. After connecting I'll see my databases. I have already made a database named LEC Lake. After that I will see my tables. We have already made tables users. Okay, you can see in my previous tutorials on this stock management series. Now today we are moving on to supplier. Okay, in supplier table let's see its design. Here in supplier table we have supplier ID, similarly supplier company name which has envarchar, supplier ID is integer, supplier company name envarchar 100, supplier individual name envarchar 100, supplier contact person envarchar 100, supplier address envarchar 100, supplier phone envarchar 100, supplier mobile envarchar 100, supplier fax number envarchar 100, supplier email, supplier website and supplier edit date, that is date data type. Okay, after making these columns just move on to identity specification, and in identity specification at first you set this supplier ID to primary key. Okay, I have already set primary key here, and go to column properties, and in identity specification make each identity to yes. Okay, at first it will be no, you have to make it in S. Okay, you have to choose S and then save your table and you are ready to go. Okay, now let's move on to our coding section. Here we code. At first look onto the variables listed in our home class. Okay, here in partial class home we have done database work and we have already done user work. Now we are on to supplier. You just make this variable int supplier selected id. This variable is used to store the value of selected supplier. Okay, this will store selected supplier. Okay, after making this, okay, after making this variable, let's move on to our constructor. Since we have home.cs, our constructor name is also home. Here we have already made a display data users table function for listing users. Now today we are going to make another function, display data supplier. Okay, make this function. Now we are going to create this function. Now we have created display data supplier function which return type is void, that is it just need to execute, it doesn't have to return any value. Okay, now here in display data supplier function we have opened our connection con.open. This connection is already given in our home class. Okay, and then we will make a command. In this command we will select our supplier tables columns, and we have columns supplier id which we will display as supplier id. Instead of showing underscore, you can show this um, heading in a smart way, yes, so that user will feel easy. Okay, similarly supplier underscore company name is company name, and supplier individual is full name, and supplier contact person is contact person. Similarly all other fields. And after that here from supplier, that means we are selecting these columns from our supplier table, that is this supplier table. Okay, now let's see here. We'll made connection to our con. Okay, cmd dot connection to our con, or you can just give in another way also. You can do it in this way also. Okay, while making command also you can do that. And after that we will make an adapter. Okay, this adapter will take the data from our command. Okay, this command will select those data and keep it to our adapter, and finally this adapter will fill our data table. Here we have created new data table. Yes, this will fill to our data table, and this data table will be used in our data grid view. That is our data grid view name is grid view supplier. Yes, here in our data grid view data source will be given. Put your data grid view name here. Okay, now after that just update the adapter and close the connection. After doing this we are ready to display our suppliers list. Okay, we have created a display data supplier function which will list our suppliers in our grid view. Okay, now let's check our listing. On supplier here already you can see these suppliers are being listed. Yes, you must see in this way in your project also. Now after that, let's move on to adding section. Okay, I'll show you this function again. Here we have created display data supplier function and done this stuff for listing. Okay, now let's move on to adding section. Here to add the new supplier, we have a button add. In add button events, we have a click event, that is btn supplier add underscore click. You can click from here or you can double click it. Okay, now for adding we have btn supplier add is my button name and this is click event. Yes, in this click event at first we'll validate our supplier fields, and then if validation is validating function returns true, then we will proceed for adding. Okay, now before that, let's see our validate supplier function. This is a function and it will return either true or false. Okay, let's go to definition of validate supplier. We have a validate supplier function which will validate our supplier fields. For that we have return type bool. It will return either true or false, and again we have a variable bool. It will store either true or false. Now we will check our supplier company name. If supplier company name is not equals to empty, or supplier individual name is not equals to empty, that is either one of the value must be given, that is either company name or individual name. If one of them is given, then we will return value, we will have return value true. Similarly, if there is not any supplier company name and supplier individual name, then we will show message enter either customer name or individual name, and we will have return value as false. Okay, and then we will return from our function with taking the value of return value variable. Here if this condition satisfied, then return value will have true value, otherwise false value. Okay, let's get back to our adding code. When this function returns true, then we'll proceed, and for that we have some local variables here for storing company name, individual name, contact person, address, phone, mobile, fax, email, website. Okay, we have taken these from respective text boxes, and then we'll add a supplier edit date is of today, that is when this button was clicked. At that time, date time dot now will take current time. Okay, and then after taking those assigning those variables, let's move on to adding. For adding, we will at first use try catch statement, and inside try catch statement we have con.open to open our connection, and then we have a command here for inserting new supplier. To insert new supplier, we have a keyword insert into supplier, that is supplier is our table name. Okay, supplier is our table name. This is supplier and its name is supplier. Yes, this supplier table. Okay, and then there are this columns of supplier here. Yes, these are the columns, these columns. Yes, these columns, and we will put the values on them, put values on these columns. You might notice there is not any supplier ID because we have given identity specification is yes here in our supplier ID. Yes, therefore we don't need to give that column. That column will be automatically incremented. Okay, and then we have parameters for these @rate variables. Yes, these @rate variables will need values. Yes, to give those values we have here this sub company name equals to supplier company name. Similarly all other fields. Again we will execute our command from this core cmd.execute non-query, and we will close our connection, and finally we will display our message supplier added successfully. And when any new supplier gets added, then we must refresh our grid view. For that we have a function display data supplier which we have already made. Yes, now we will make another function clear data supplier. Let's see the definition of this function. For that, when any supplier is added, after that we have to clear our field, so that we have a function clear data supplier. Okay, this will clear all text boxes. Now after clearing data supplier function, try statement ends here, and our catch statement starts. In catch exception we will take exception and show message if any exception occur. Okay, and then if condition ends here, and our supplier add buttons event end here. Okay, I'll show you again for this. Here we have started our button supplier add underscore click event, adding event, and we are validating and then assigning one variables, and then opening connection and command and executing command and message box, again refreshing grid view and clearing text boxes. Okay, this much for adding. Okay, now let's run our project. If you have any doubt, you can rewatch or see our videos from beginning. Okay, at first we have made users, now we are doing about suppliers, now we are going to add new supplier. Okay, here let's say Govinda suppliers. Similarly contact person Satish Sen. Similarly phone number. Okay, and address. Okay, the phone number will write in another way. Okay, okay, and mobile number and address Kathmandu, and email Govinda @gmail.com. Okay, fax also, and website govinda.com. And now we are going to add our new supplier. After clicking on add, we have our message box supplier added successfully, and clicking on OK, we have new supplier here, Govinda suppliers. Okay, Satish and contact person, Kathmandu, phone numbers, email, and website. In this way we can add a new supplier. Okay guys, if you like my video, please hit like button and click on subscribe, and don't forget to hit bell notification icon. Okay guys, thank you for watching.